what are the types of derivatives? So primarily there are four types of derivative. Number one is forwards. Now what is a forward? So it's a forward contract. And as I said, derivatives are used for the purpose of risk management. How are these used for the purpose of risk management? Let us understand with the help of an example. There is a company called Kellogg. Kellogg is in the business of manufacturing cornflake. And for manufacturing cornflake, Kellogg needs continuous supply of corn. So there's a risk that Kellogg runs. And what that risk is? That risk is Kellogg may run out of supply of corn, and which would mean the operations of Kellogg will come to a grinding halt. Then there's a farmer. What the farmer is doing? Farmer is growing corn, and farmer is growing corn. The farmer also has a risk. What is the risk the farmer has? The risk that the farmer has is when the crop is ready of corn, there is no buyer. Now, since there is no buyer, the crop that farmer has will go in waste and he will suffer losses. So, how both of them manage this risk? So, both of them manage this risk by signing a contract, and that contract is known as forward contracts, and popularly they are known as forwards. So what this contract is? This contract is, as part of this contract, as part of this agreement, Kellogg undertakes to make payment to the farmer at a particular price and pick up his supply of corn. So that is the obligation which Kellogg is taking on its side. What the farmer is doing? Farmer is taking an obligation to supply the corn when the crop is ready to Kellogg. In return, get a price at a prefixed price, get the consideration at a prefixed price. So by this contract, both of them are covering the risk. Now Kellogg is assured of supply of corn from the farmer, and farmer is assured of a ready market from the Kellogg. So this is one form of derivative that is known as forwards. So these forwards, please remember, are customized. They are also known as OTC contract, over the counter. And why they are known as OTC? Because the farmer and the Kellogg, they sit over the counter, over the table, and they discuss and agree on this contract. So that is what is known as OTC contract. Or it is also known as customized because the terms and the conditions of the forward contracts will vary from contract to contract. So this is a forward contract. Now remember, in case of a forward contract, the terms and conditions are not standardized. What is a future? Future is nothing but a forward only. The only difference is, unlike forward, which is customized, the futures are standardized. So all the futures that we hear of on the NSE or BSE or on the commodity exchanges with regard to the commodities, they are all standardized products. So those futures are standardized. तो उनकी quantity कितनी है वो is all fixed. Price कितनी है all fixed. And then you will have number of futures happening. So that is your future. So futures are forwards are customized. Futures are standardized. Forwards are over the counter, and futures are traded on a stock exchange. So all the futures are traded on BSE, NSE, or on these commodity exchanges. So those are your futures. Then you have an option. So remember, in case of forward and in case of future, both the parties have a right and have an obligation. Meaning what? Meaning the Kellogg has a right to purchase the corn, and end make the payment, and the farmer has a right to receive the payment and supply the corn. So both of them have binding obligations. Same is the case in future also. But in case of option, options are only one-sided. So when I say they are one-sided, what does it mean? It means in case of an option, the buyer of the option only has a right. He does not have an obligation. And how does it work? We will understand as we move forward. And then you have swaps. So what are swaps? Swaps are where the two parties will exchange their obligations. So there may be a corporate who's taken a loan. On that loan, he is paying interest at a fixed rate. There may be another corporate who has taken a loan on which he is paying the interest at a floating rate. Because of their credit rating and other parameters, they would swap these fixed rate interest loan and the floating rate interest loan between them, so that they are able to pass on the benefit to each other. So those are your swaps. Now a question that normally comes, is hedging a derivative? And the answer of course is no. Hedging, there is no product called hedging. So you have forward, you have futures, you have options, you have swaps. You do not have a product called hedging. Hedging is only a process of risk management. So a business will have a risk. How will that business cover that risk? That process of covering risk is referred as hedging. So again, open to all of you for your questions.